Let me show you how I set up my iPhone 16 Pro Max to get photos like this. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is insanely capable, but only if you know how to set it up right. So in today's video, I'm going to walk you through those settings on how I set up my phone to get the photos like the ones you just saw, and how you can unlock the potential to get photos like that as well and make your photos look like they've come from a professional grade camera. So whether you're shooting landscapes, close-ups, or portraits, these changes in your settings that you can make directly on your phone can give you some pretty sweet results. So first, let's talk about ProRAW. So this is the biggest difference between a casual iPhone snapshot versus a photo that you can actually edit like a pro. So I'm gonna have my camera open. You'll be able to see it on screen. So we're just gonna head into our settings, scroll down to camera, then formats, and then turn on Apple ProRAW. So what this does, it just captures way more data in each shot. It's kind of like a raw photo on a DSLR. So in post, you have a lot more flexibility to recover those highlights, to recover the shadows, the brightness. Basically just giving you the option to push that photo to the limits while maintaining the actual great quality of it. So now we're just going to go back into the main camera settings and kind of scroll down, and you can follow along and just see which settings that I'm currently using to get those shots that you saw at the beginning of the video. So record video, I have 4K at 24 frames per second. I have PAL formats off, enhanced stabilization I have on, everything else I have off in this section. So if we go back, record slow-mo, I have 4K at 120 frames per second. I don't shoot a lot of slow-mo, but I'm a user who likes to maximize the phone's settings. Going down to record cinematic, I'm 4K at 24 frames per second again. Record sound, I have it set to mono. This is default. This is what the phone came with, and I just haven't switched it. So formats is where we turned on Apple ProRAW. So you want to make sure that you have that on for sure. And then video capture, I have Apple ProRes with ProRes encoding to log. I don't like the way HDR looks, so I keep log on all the time. I have high efficiency, so high efficiency versus most compatible. Most compatible will always use JPEG and H.264, which the file sizes are a little bit bigger. So if you go to high efficiency, you can still maintain the quality of the photo, but your file sizes will be a little bit smaller. Photo mode, I have 24 frames per second. I think 12. Yeah, 12 is the other option. Again, just maximizing the settings on your phone. And then if you go back to the camera, so preserve settings, these are settings that you used last time you open your camera app. So when you open preserve settings, you have a bunch of things that you can turn on and off, so you don't have to do it every single time. So camera mode I have on, photographic style I have off. I don't use a lot of photo styles. Creative controls I have off, depth control I have off. Macro control I have on. So the iPhone automatically switches to macro mode when you get super close to your subject. And sometimes that can be annoying because it can actually mess up your frame. So when you have that on, you have the ability to manually turn it off while your camera settings are open. So that's why I keep mine on. Exposure adjustment on, night mode I have off, portrait mode I have off, action mode I have off, ProRAW and resolution control, that's definitely on. Apple ProRes, that's definitely on. Live photo I have off. I don't like live photo, I'm not a fan. So as you scroll down even more, use volume up for burst. I kept that off. I don't use burst photos. Scan QR codes I have on. Show detected text I have on. Composition, the grid, that's really important to me. That really allows you to have the flexibility to line up your shots. Photography in particular and videography, I'm a big sucker for a nice composed, symmetrical, straight horizon, straight lines everywhere in the frame. So my grid, having that on really helps me find the levelness to it. Speaking of level, I have level on as well. So that's like a literal level that you can see in frame when you open your camera settings to make sure your photos are straight. Mirror front camera I have off, view outside the frame. I had that on for the longest time, but I turned it off recently. I found it distracting sometimes when other things would pop up outside of the frame. So now it's off. Indicators, flash, live photo, action mode off. Those were default. Fusion, photo capture. So photo capture, Fusion camera, I think you can, choose 28 to 35. I only have the 24mm one. Portraits and photo mode on, prioritize faster shooting on, lens correction on, macro control on, lens cleaning hint on, save photos. These are all default things that I've kept on. So those are the settings that you can actually change on your phone. A couple more tips. Keep your lens clean. Give it a wipe before photo shoots. It does help a lot because your phone just naturally picks up dust and grime. So giving it a wipe before you go out and shoot, that'll help. So another tip is using manual exposure adjustment. So when you're framing your shot, tap the screen to focus, then swipe up or down on the sun icon, and that'll either brighten or darken your photo, whatever you think looks better. It's crucial for tricky lighting. I use it a lot. I don't like to rely just on the phone's auto settings. So manually adjusting exposure from keeping highlights blowing out or shadows from getting too dark, I think is really important as well. Another tip for that, so if you open your camera app, the 6 dots that you see on the top right hand if you're vertical or top left hand if you're in horizontal, if you click that and you go down to exposure, you can preset your exposure adjustment before you even shoot. So I like to keep mine at around -7. And that to me just looks better. The highlights look better, the shadows look better, the exposure looks better. That way I'm not having to click and drag the sun up and down every time. It's just already set. So these are my iPhone 16 Pro Max settings that I use for my iPhone photography. They are simple, but they are incredibly powerful once you start using them. Even if you don't have a DSLR or a mirrorless camera, you can take really good shots from your phone nowadays. So if you want to see how I edit my photos and get that final polished look like you've seen on my Instagram, let me know in the comments and I can make another video for that. So if this video helped you at all, drop a like, hit the subscribe button, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.